Welcome to the Helping Writers Become Authors podcast. I'm KM Weiland, and I am here to take you deep with story theory, writing techniques, and the incredible wisdom of story. I believe story is the greatest power on this earth, and that as writers, we carry the torch of wielding that power with responsibility, passion, and skill. There's no such thing as just a story. Today, it is my honor and my purpose to help you write your best story, astound the world, and maybe change your life. Hello, everyone. Today, I am so happy to be sharing with you not one, but two book launches. A revised and expanded second edition of Structuring Your Novel, and a brand new sequel, Next Level Plot Structure. If you want to write a story that works and that doesn't have you pulling out an unreasonable amount of hair, plot structure is the foundation upon which everything is built, which, if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, you already know. Once you learn to recognize and understand these structural underpinnings that create a story's arc, you can turn your imagination loose on your stories, knowing that you know what you're doing. Structuring Your Novel is one of the most important books I have ever written. It was based on my cornerstone blog series, Secrets of Story Structure, which I will be republishing on the blog and in the podcast starting next week. So if you've already read the first edition, you can catch up on some of the most important updates for free. Structuring Your Novel continues to be one of the books I hear about most often from writers who are celebrating their successes in finishing or publishing manuscripts. So when the book reached its official 10-year anniversary last year, I was inspired to revisit it, to update some information, to add 3 new chapters on the inciting event, the midpoint, and the third plot point, and just generally spit and polish it up a bit. While working on the second edition, I realized how much I've learned about structure in the past decade. I wanted to share the nuances, theories, and understandings of structure that have helped me fall even more in love with story, and to understand how and why plot structure works on a deeper level. However, because Structuring Your Novel has become such a mainstay for so many writers, 80,000 and counting at this point, I didn't want to change it too much. So I decided to create a sequel. Next Level Plot Structure compiles my last decade's worth of discoveries and teachings about story theory and plot and scene structure. Specifically, it looks at how all of structure, from the macro level to the micro, can be constructed as 2 halves that mirror each other. Not only does this create built-in foreshadowing and solid plots with cohesive setups and payoffs, it also offers incredible opportunities for deepening character arcs and leveraging the built-in symbolism and meaning found within the plot beats themselves. I am so happy to celebrate the second edition of Structuring Your Novel with all of you. So thank you for embracing it and making it a part of your writing journey for this past decade. And I am ecstatic to get to share Next Level Plot Structure as a thoroughly up-to-date exploration of all my favorite ways to write stories that explode off the page and the screen to remain with audiences possibly for their entire lives. I cannot wait to hear about the new stories you will write with these books. So if you're interested, you can purchase the revised and expanded second edition of Structuring Your Novel, as well as the brand new book, Next Level Plot Structure, on Amazon, my site, and most other retailers. And if you have already read the first edition of Structuring Your Novel, I would totally appreciate it if you'd consider leaving a review on the new one. Creating a new edition meant losing the thousands of reviews the book collected over the past decade. So I would totally appreciate it if you'd help me rebuild the review section. Also, in case you're wondering, I am planning to update and create a second edition of the Structuring Your Novel workbook, probably next year sometime. And hopefully the audiobook versions of both of these books should be available later this year. All right, so here's a little bit more about Structuring Your Novel, the revised and expanded second edition. Is structure the hidden foundation of all successful stories? Why do some stories work and others don't? The answer is structure. In this 10-year anniversary edition, you will discover the universal underpinnings that guarantee powerful plot and character arcs. An understanding of proper story and scene structure will help you to not only perfectly time your story's major events, but will also provide you with an unerring standard to use in evaluating your novel's pacing and progression. Structuring your novel shows you how to recognize and create powerful plot points at the right moments throughout your story, how to determine the best methods for unleashing your unique and personal vision for your story, how to identify common structural weaknesses and flip them around into stunning strengths, how to eliminate saggy middles by discovering your story's centerpiece, why you should never include conflict on every page, and how to create a solid line of amazing scenes that create your story's dramatic arc. Revised and expanded with updated information in 3 brand new chapters, this second edition will help you join legions of writers who have learned how to write masterful plots. Story structure has empowered countless best-selling and classic authors. Now, it's your turn. And now here's a little bit more about the brand new book, Next Level Plot Structure. Elevate your storytelling with expert plot structure. Unlock the secrets of compelling story structure with Next Level Plot Structure. This comprehensive resource delves deep into the intricacies of plot structure, revealing the rich vein of narrative techniques and philosophical underpinnings that have shaped storytelling throughout history. Delve beyond plot beats to explore deeper symmetry and symbolism in story. Discover how every plot beat and scene is composed of 2 mirroring halves contributing to the narrative arc. Introduce your readers to chiastic structure, a mesmerizing mirroring technique that unites the 2 halves of a story. Master the dual beats of each major plot point to create dramatic scene arcs. Explore innovative ways to structure scenes to keep readers engaged and eager to turn the page. Examine the symbolic significance of a story's 4 worlds and their influence on plot and character arcs. And evade formulaic story structures by understanding the deeper meaning and purpose of each plot element. Whether you're a seasoned writer or just starting out, Next Level Plot Structure provides invaluable insights and practical techniques to help you take your storytelling to new heights. And finally, as always, to celebrate the launch of Structuring Your Novel and Next Level Plot Structure, I am doing a giveaway. This time I am giving away a Freewrite Alpha. On Freewrite's site, they talk about the Alpha like this. The Alpha is a dedicated drafting device for anyone who wants to write without the distraction or temptation of browsers, email, or notifications. Get in writing flow and develop more prolific writing sessions by separating the drafting and editing processes. When it is time to edit, your drafts wirelessly sync to the cloud for export into your software of choice. Push your productivity forward and tap into writing joy. And since you can't see a picture here on the podcast, and just in case it isn't clear, the Alpha is basically a smart typewriter, a very compact one that you can take with you wherever you go. To enter, you'll need to visit my website at helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com. If you're listening to this during the week of the launch, which is when the giveaway will run, July 8th through 14th, you will find the post at the very top of the site. And you need to scroll to the bottom of the launch post and you'll find the widget where you can enter the giveaway. Winners will be announced Monday, July 15th via email and on Instagram. No purchase is necessary to enter. So good luck to everyone in the drawing. Have fun. And thank you for helping me celebrate the launches of Structuring Your Novel and Next Level Plot Structure. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Helping Writers Become Authors. I hope you'll stop by the site for a full transcript of this episode and to join in the conversation in the comments. Tune in for next week's episode where we'll continue to explore all things writing and storytelling. If you'd like to support the podcast, it always means a ton when you take a moment to leave a quick rating or review on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or Spotify. To stay updated on all the latest content I create for you, the best way is to join my mailing list at helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com/mailing list. You'll also immediately gain access to lots of free resources, including my books, Crafting Unforgettable Characters and 5 Secrets of Story Structure. For real-time connection with me, more writing advice, and behind-the-scenes glimpses, follow me on Instagram at author_KM_Weiland. A heartfelt thank you to each one of you for your support and enthusiasm, and especially those of you who support my work on patreon.com/KM_Weiland. You help make my site, this podcast, and so many other resources available to writers everywhere. So until next week, keep writing, keep dreaming, and most importantly, keep being true to your stories. Thank you for being part of helping writers become authors.